Hi, hello everyone. Just give me a confirmation that you have installed Power BI on your system. Okay, I will be waiting for your response on the chat. Because we need Power BI for this session. I got response from Amit and Sanjay. How about others? How about others? Rathod, I have not been able to load Excel file. I have not able to load Excel file. No worries, Rathod. We will be providing you Excel file today as well as CSV file. Okay. So we will ask you to load. So this session will be completely a hands-on training. Okay. So I want everyone to have Power BI on the system, or else it can be difficult for you because there will be a domino effect that will be created. Okay, because I will be running forward and you won't be having Power BI. So that's the reason. Okay. Vijay has actually installed Power BI. How about others? I think Praveen had joined just now. Hey, hi Praveen, welcome. So we were actually discussing that do we have Power BI on your system? Hi Sunit. Hi Sunit. Okay, welcome.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, Sanjay, you are audible.
Sunit. Actually, yesterday Sunit was not here. So
Oh, is it so? Hi, Rajesh. Welcome.
Once you get ना समझ तुला वाटलं तर मला सांग तरी at least.
Hi, Rajesh. I just want to ask you that do you have Power BI on your system? I got only 3 response from Sanjay, Rathod, and Vijay. How about others?
Hi, Sangamesh.
There was a bit of echo.
Yes.
If you are in a team, then if you are using headphone, then this problem can be resolved. Okay, the echo will be distorted. Okay, so or else,
Sangamesh,
yes,
we are
yes, Sanjay.
in one room and we are using this Jabra.
Jabra. Okay. Oh, yes, you are absolutely right. Okay. So let me help you. Okay. I was actually asking that people who don't have Power BI, please install Power BI, because today's session is going to be hands-on session. Okay. I will be providing you data set, and we both will be working on that data set, and we will try to explore various, various possibilities of Power BI. So that's the reason it will be a hands-on session. So if you don't have, you can just talk to your IT team, because yesterday itself I have told that tomorrow's session is going to be a hands-on session. Okay. So,
Yeah,
and
you know what happened? Our IT person is going to our another plant, so he's
okay,
not here. So what we are thinking, like 2 or 3 people who are having the Power BI in their laptops. So at
mhm.
least we can from their laptop, and then after that we'll get it installed from our laptop, and then we'll patch it.
Sure, sure. We can actually do that as well. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I will be sharing, I think we have 10 people. I think we have sufficient head count, right? Is it good to start? Good to start?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Thank you very much. So what I will do is I will be sharing you a couple of Excel and CSV files. Okay, this PC, okay, D drive, Power BI, Power BI 360 digit GM, data 2017. Okay, I sent you one file. Okay, I want everyone to download it. It's something like 2 MB. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, guys, I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Just give me a minute. Let me open the files. Okay. Okay, I hope everyone is able to see my screen, isn't it? Just give me a confirmation on the chat. Are you able to see my screen? Akash, Amit Kumar, Kulkarni, Rathod, Praveen, Rajesh, Ravindra, Sanjay, Suneet, Vijay. I think we have some lesser headcounts today. I think Ashwini is not here. I assume so. So it's
Yeah,
absolutely.
Nitin is also not here.
Yes, I can see that. Okay.
He is on
So,
leave.
okay, that's absolutely fine. Okay. So they can actually refer the today's, what I can say, recording, and they can practice in the weekends as well. So what I was actually trying to say is we have shared you a couple of files. One is called as 2017, which is a Excel CSV file. Okay. And we have something called as order 2017. This is a Excel worksheet. Okay. And adding to that, last but not the least, we have people, which is in CSV, that is comma separated value. I have shared all of them on the chat. Okay. Just let me know if you haven't received the data so that I can actually reshare the data. If you have received the data, just say yes on the chat window. We can proceed ahead. I assume that you have received it. Yes, I'm able to see not received. Amit Kulkarni. Okay, let me share it again. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. I have received 3 files. Thank you very much, Vijay. Let me share order 2017 and shift this, no, this one. I hope Amit is able to see the data sets, right? Confirm me, Amit. Amit, can you confirm me? Yes, thank you very much. So I hope everyone is able to have that data. I want everyone to download it. Okay. So because we will be using this a lot today. Okay. So let me minimize this. Okay. So majorly, okay. So, okay. Let me reduce this. Let me bring it out here. Okay. So majorly, these are the topics that we are going to cover. Okay. Yesterday, we have covered introduction to Power BI, wherein we have understood installation, overview of the technology, licensing part in Power BI and the Power BI architecture, isn't it? Just a small question. If you have any questions related to the previous session, okay, I think I have received one question saying that we are not able to load the data using Excel. I will be teaching it again because we have to reload the data into this thing, what I can say, Power BI. So apart from that, do you have any other questions, guys? I'm not able to see the file. If anyone is able to share the file to Sanjay as well, it would be really great. Okay, it is on chat window, Sanjay. Yes, Amit is having one question, I assume. So yes, Amit. Meanwhile, let me open my Power BI as well. Where to see this file? You can see the file on the chat. Okay. If someone is able to guide Amit on the file. So there is a file called as order 2017. There is a file called as order 2018. And there is also a file called as people.csv. Okay. These are the files which are available on the chat window. You can search in the chat up and down. You will be able to find it. I have shared it twice. Okay. If you have any difficulty, you can ask your friends. Okay. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So guys, I have opened my Power BI and I hope you are able to see my Power BI desktop, isn't it? Okay. So here, as I have told you that, excuse me. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Okay. I hope you are able to see, just give me a minute. Okay. So, okay, that's absolutely fine. So here, what I was actually saying is here in our yesterday's session, we had discussed majorly on the Power BI desktop. Okay, so we had understood how Power BI desktop is going to work and what are the various components, what is meant by reports, okay, what is meant by table, data table, and along with that data model. Okay, we have understood this. We also understood that how fields are going to work, what is meant by visualization. Okay, we also have something called as filters, which are actually available here. And adding to that, we have also shown you what are the various ways to load the data. Okay, so now I want to show you to load a CSV file and an Excel file. Okay, so yesterday, as I've told you that you can actually click here, or else you can also click here as well. Okay, you have multiple ways to load the data. So what I'm going to do is let me load an Excel file, okay, which is called as order 2018. If you're able to see that, this is an Excel file. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I want everyone to have this, okay, on their system, download it. After that, we will do it. I will show you it, and I will also provide you certain time to complete it as well. Okay, so the first thing what I have to do is I can click on any of this particular icon. Okay, let's assume I'm just going to say Excel workbook here. I'm just going to click Excel workbook. As soon as I do that, it is going to show me the path. Okay, so right now this is the path. I have something called as D drive. I have something called as Power BI 360, Power BI Training 360 / dataset. Okay, here I have only one Excel file. If you go here, okay, I repeat again. If you go here, if you see PC, D drive, Power BI Training 360 and dataset, you are able to see various other formats of data as well. So here is a Python file. Okay, here is your what I can say and Power BI data source, which is also called as PBIDS file. Along with that, you also have something called as PBIX file, and along with that, you also have another PBIX file. Out of all these files, which is also having CSV and all these things, out of all these things, only one Excel file, because this is an Excel worksheet, only that is visible in the drive. Do you agree with me, guys? Do you agree with me? If I'm going to see here, only 2018 is going to be seen because if you see here, okay, this is a Power BI Excel worksheet. Someone is having any question? So what I'm going to do is I just need to click on this file. I just need to click on this file, okay, and say open. Okay, as soon as I do that, there is something called as navigator that will pop up. This is called as navigator. Try to be with me, guys, because there is a huge difference. Okay, right now I'm not able to see any data out here. Can you see that? I'm not able to see any data out here. As soon as I click here, from here to here, if I'm going to click, I'll be only able to see the file. See here, I'll be able to only see the file. I won't get the load option. If I'm going to click here, exactly here, if I'm going to select this, I'm able to see the sheets. Okay, what are the columns and rows which are actually available. Okay, similarly, if I also want to import this order sheet, I can also click on this. Okay, right now I don't want this sales table because this is some junk information. I can say unselect this. I can unselect this. As soon as I unselect this, I have two options. One is called as load. Okay. Second is called as transform. Within something like 5 to 10 minutes, we will be also understanding how this transform data will work, how you can actually transform the data in Power BI. We will be understanding that. Meanwhile, let me load this. See here, please make sure that I'm not selecting the sales file. Okay, I have unselected this. I'm selecting only order file. That is the reason when I'm going to say load, I will be able to only see the order file only. I won't be able to see the sales file, which is having some junk information. Okay. This is the first thing that you are going to have. Can you see that? Can you see that? So you have this information. Okay. Now I want to give some time so that you can practice on your own. Okay. So I want everyone to load the data on your own into Power BI. I want you to load only 2018 Excel file. Okay. Which is only 2018 Excel file, which is this specific file. People who have installed Power BI, you can share your system with other candidates as well, so that they can also do that specific task as well, so that we can collaboratively learn things. Okay. I want to show you people who are not having Power BI. I just want to show you that I want to reload the Power BI dataset. This is for the people who don't have Power BI on their system. Okay. So I'm just going to delete this. I can click here anywhere. Okay. I'm just going to click here. Okay. And the pop-up will appear here. I have it in dataset, but if you have it in download, you can click on download and you can load the data. You have to specify the path. Okay. So now I'm going to say 2018 and I'm going to say open.
Sangamesh,
Yes, Ashwini.
hi, this side Ashwini.
Yes.
Could you save this Excel file
Yes, I will do that again. Yes, I will
in
do
a
that
chat
again.
actually?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. I will do that again.
So it will help us to
Sure,
upload
sure. I will do that
properly.
again. Sharmaji, I hope you have all the 3 Excel files. You need to have order 2017, order 2018, and people file, all these 3 files.
Not yet.
Yes, you will get it right now. It is loading. Guys, are you done? If you are done, just say done on the chat. Ravindra is done. Thank you, Ravindra. How about other? I think Vijay is also having this Power BI. How about Vijay? Ashwini is not. Take your time, Ashwini. I'm there with you. Okay. Yes, done. Thank you, Vijay. Ashwini, as soon as you're done, just let me know so that we can proceed ahead. Guys, people who are done. Yes.
Actually, Sangamesh, I didn't get the Excel file till now.
Oh, is it so? If you have your friends sitting behind, sitting aside, okay, you can ask them. Or else if you are in remote, then I have shared you all the files. I mean, on chat, you can see the chat. It is not on your email. It's on the chat. Okay,
Yes,
I
yes,
want you to check on the chat.
Already checked the chat. But didn't get any attached file.
It's interesting. Can someone help Ashwini with the data? If you have an internal team, you can email Ashwini the 3 data sets, please.
Hi, Sangamesh.
Yes. Yes, Vijay.
I just upload the file, but again I would like to upload the file. Can you show how you can again upload it? Because I am trying it, but I think I just closing the Power BI whole and again repeat this start it and
From initial step once again explain.
No worries. I want you to share your screen. Okay, I will provide you the presenter access. Okay, you can share your screen. Okay, I'm going to guide you.
okay, just 1 minute. Okay.
Yes, you have loaded the file. Okay, so now what we will do is we will try to load as CSV file. Okay, you have the data that is called as order data, right? So can you click on get data again? Can you click on get data again? Yes, thank you. Okay, here you have something called as text/CSV. Can you come down a little bit? Yes, text/CSV. Can you click on that?
Okay.
Can you click on that? So here it is showing which are the CSV files which are actually available. So you can click one. Okay, so you can click either people or order 2017. Okay, can you say open? Any one. Okay, now you don't get a navigator. You don't get a navigator. Suddenly you will get something called as order 2017.csv. Okay, so now here you have the same thing. Here you have something like 20 rows, and adding to that you have specific columns as well. Can you see that? Okay, can you hover around? my friend. Okay, that's wonderful. See here, you have 20 rows. Now you are getting the two options called as load and transform. Because CSV, whenever you have CSV file, it doesn't contain multiple files in a CSV. Okay, like sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. In CSV file, you will never file. CSV files are normally flat files. Okay, so that's the reason this is the type of setup which is actually available in Power BI. You can click on load. Can you click on load? Okay, can you click on load? So now the 2017 data is getting loaded into Power BI. Can you see that? Okay, I want everyone to load it as well. And meanwhile, I think you have loaded it correctly, but what was your specific question? If you are able to help me, I'm there to help you out.
Actually, right now we have loaded the file, but again, I want to close this and want to load a new file.
You want to delete this?
again.
Same file.
Close this all.
You can go to order. You can go to order. No. You can go to order. That which is, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I'm taking control of your system. You have to approve my request. Okay. So here, okay. So here, right here, you have something called as order. Okay. You can actually delete this, delete this from the model, or else you can basically close this.
Okay.
You can do any of it.
Close it. Close it.
Hope you're able to get it, Vijay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to exit my screen and I will try to share my screen. Do you have any other questions, guys? Meanwhile, I think Casey, sir, do have that set. Okay, I don't know what he's saying.
Actually, I'm asking about that set.
Set? What is that set?
That document set, office.
Document set. Can you ask your friends, because I have uploaded it on chat, but unfortunately I'm not able to do that. Share me on the team if anyone have the set. Okay. Can any of your friends can help Ashwini on the same? Okay. Okay. Vijay, can you stop sharing your screen, please? If you are not able to do that, I can do that as well. Okay. Yes, thank you very much, Ashwini. Okay, so now we are here. I don't have order 2017 data, so let me load it. I'm just going to click here. I'm just going to say CSV file, and I'm going to say order 2017. I'm just going to load this. Okay, so very same, very similar. I want everyone to load order 2017 as well as people file as well. Okay, now I have my order 2017 file as well. See here, or I have order 2017 file as well. Similarly, I'm just going to click on here. I'm just going to click on here. I'm just going to say text CSV, and I'm going to click on people. And I'm going to do the same thing. But there is a small glitch here. Someone is not on mute, my friend. Can you be on mute, please? So I have muted yourself. I'm Raghavendra. Okay. So if I try to load people's table, there is a bug or there is a problem. Okay. And I want everyone to concentrate here. Okay. This is very interesting. Okay. So if you're able to see, okay, if you are able to see this in a very clear manner, you have something called as column 1 and you have something called as column 2. Do you agree with me, guys? But if you see, this is your person's name and this is your region. Okay, and these are the people number 1, people number 2, people number 3, people number 4. Can you agree with me? And this is the region, west, east, central, south. Do you agree with me? Don't you feel, I repeat again, don't you feel that persons need to be the column name? What I basically mean is the person need to be the column name. If you check, let me say cancel. I will close this. I will say cancel again. If I say here, if I see here the table, I have column names called as order ID, row ID, order ID, order date, shipping mode, and all these things. Agree with me? But if I try to load a CSV file that is people table, okay, there is a format issue. There is a format issue that I can actually see. Can you see this, guys? Can you see this? Okay. So how to solve this? Or whenever you have data, because Excel may come with different formats, different dates, different customization. How to clean this data? How to say you have the first row, that is my header. Agree with me? So I hope everyone have loaded Power BI, these two files, that is order and this thing, what I can say, file. Ashwini, here is the Ashwini's, this thing, what I can say, email ID, because I cannot share my email ID. That's the reason. Okay. So if anyone is able to share Ashwini the data set, because Ashwini is struggling from a very long time. He has been repeatedly saying, okay.
I will forward Vijay Talwatan and the
Sanjay, do you have that set?
yes, Vijay is sending you. Vijay is sending. Akash.
Please.
We will give Ashwini a bit of time, okay, so that Ashwin can also load the file.
Thanks, Sanjay.
Sure. Just give me a minute. Ashwini, you got the files?
Yes, got.
Yes, okay. Can you share your screen, Ashwini, so that you can load the dataset and you can also show all your friends how you are loading the dataset? I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. Now you have the access. Now you can share your screen. Meanwhile, everyone who have these files, they can load the file. No worries. Okay. So you can even load people file as well, even though if it is going to have error. I'm just going to help you how to fix it. Yes, Ashwini. Okay. So can you load the file? Because I have shown you how to load it. If you are doing any kind of mistake, then I'm there to help you out. You are completely independent. You can load the file now.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we are able to see your screen, Ashwini.
So first I need to click on this import data from Excel.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Oh. Correct. So it will take a bit of time, but it won't take too much of time. So can you redo it? I think you have not clicked it properly. Can you say get data again?
Cancel it.
I'm not able to see that. Don't need to cancel. You can say import data again. Import data from Excel, which is at the middle. You can click on here. Okay, and redo the same task. Okay. Because we are not able to see anything. Okay, we are able to see only your Power BI desktop. I think you're not sharing your entire screen, so that's the reason we are also not able to see the navigator as well.
Just a second, I will repeat. Now is it visible?
Yes, it is visible. You can click on Power BI data set. That's the one. Okay, order 2017 open. There will be a navigator which will open.
Now navigator page is open.
Okay, so you can click on this thing. We are not able to see navigator plane. It's absolutely fine. I don't worry. So you can just click on order and say load. That's it.
After
You have
click
loaded
on order, then I need to click on load.
Sorry, Ashwini.
Your
I'm
voice
not.
breaking actually.
Um,
Your voice breaking.
I'm really sorry, Ashwini. I'm not able to recognize your audio, guys. Am I audible? I mean, my voice is clear, right? Is there no difference? I mean, is there any distortion from my end? I'm extremely sorry, guys. I mean, this is not going to work. I'm not able to see anything. Okay, I'm able to see only Power BI desktop. I'm not able to see anything on navigator. You can stop sharing your screen, Ashwini. Thank you very much. Okay, you can load the data. You can load the data. Thank you very much. Okay, I hope everyone have loaded the data. I hope no one is actually having any problem, isn't it? I'm able to share my screen right now. I hope everyone is able to see my screen, isn't it? Guys, anyone is having any difficulty loading the data?
Samir, actually your voice is still breaking. Huh?
How about others, guys? Am I audible, clean and clear? Just give me a confirmation. Amit Kulkarni, Ashwin, Rathod, Khemandas.
Here, all clear here.
Huh? Are you guys able to hear me clean and clear?
Yes.
So you can put the same thing on chat, because your audio is, as you are all in the same group, okay, there is a lots of distortion from your end. I have a really good internet. Okay. I have a premium internet here. Okay. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you with this type of issues. So I hope everyone have loaded the data. Okay, I assume so. So now what I'm going to do is, whenever you have this type of data, how to fix it? How to fix it? There are two methods, which is also called as Power Query transformation. This is the area. So you can click on here. You can click on here, or else you can click on here as well. That's the reason we keep on saying different routes for the same destination. Someone is not on mute. Sumit? Sorry, Sumit?
We are able to see your presentation only, not Power BI desktop.
Oh, extremely sorry. I think I have shared a wrong file. Okay, I'm extremely sorry. Okay. Yes, you're absolutely right. Okay. So here, I hope you are able to see it right now, isn't it? Okay. So I'm just going to say get data. Okay. Text CSV. And I'm going to say people. And this is the issue what I was actually speaking about. Okay. Wherein you have the first row as your header. So whenever you have this issue, you have two options. Number one, you can click on transform data. Number one, people who have loaded the data, no worries, no worries. There is another method which is also called as transform data right here. Can you see that? You can use either one of them. Either one of them. That's the reason I keep on saying different routes for the same destination. Different routes for the same destination. Let me help you with this particular thing. Let me say text data CSV. I will say people. I'm just going to load this particular CSV file. Okay. And now I have this. I'm just going to click on transform data. Be with me, guys. I'm just going to click on transform data. As soon as I click on transform data, there is a new query table which is also going to get open. Just give me a minute. Let me open that. Okay. So it's on a different screen. I'm just going to bring it out here. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Okay. So can you see that? Okay. Right now you have column 1 and column 2. You have person and region. Okay. If I'm going to go here, okay, I have an option called as use first row as headers. Can you see that? You have something called as use first row as headers. I can just click on this. Ta-da!
It is same as Excel Power Query.
Yes, it's actually called as Power Query Editor. Okay, it's completely different. Okay, Power BI Desktop is different. Power Query Editor is different. Okay, but it will come inside Power BI itself. Hope you're clear on this particular part.
But Excel also, this screen is there when we made this query in Excel.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Even Power Query transformation is also available on Excel. Yes, you are absolutely right. So the same thing, the same operation, everything will be same. If you know Power Query editor in Excel, then 100% of this 100% of the functionalities are available here. And adding to that, there are also some additional functionalities as well. Okay, I will be actually able to help you with the same. Okay, I hope everyone is able to load the data, and by using in home, just give me a minute, in home, you have something called as first row as headers. You have to click on people and then you have to say first row as headers. As soon as you do it, okay, you will be able to fix this issue. How many of you have done this? Say done on the chat. Say done on the chat. I will be waiting for your comments, guys. Vijay? Wait, I will do. Okay. Yes, Vijay. Ashwini? Thank you, Ashwini. I think Sanjay. Sanjay, right? Sanjay Goel.
Sangesh,
Yes, Sanjay.
yeah, Sangesh, now audible?
Yes, you are audible. You can ask your question on the chat.
Yeah, Sangesh, actually it is not loaded. Power BI is not installed in my laptop. I'm sitting with Dhaneshwar Rato. We are doing it.
Okay, that is fine. Okay. I hope everyone have done that who have Power BI. So this is how you are going to fix the this thing, what I can say, Excel. So I just want to help you with couple of other things. Okay, I want to help you with other things. Now, what I will do is I will help you with everything which is available in Power Query. In next nearly something like 2 hours, we will try to learn each and every part of Power Query, and we will master Power Query in next 2 hours. Okay, so here you can see it's very, very similar to Excel again. Okay, you have home, you have transform, you have add column, view, tools, and help. These are the outlay what you have. Out of which you have home, okay, where you can actually load the data set here. I will quickly go to Power BI Desktop again. This is my Power Query. This is my Power BI Desktop. I will quickly go to my Power BI Desktop. Here, if I want to load the data, I have an option 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 options here, and fifth option here, where I can actually import the data. I can actually import the data into Power BI. So as soon as I'm done with this, what I can say, Power Query transformation, because I have transformed the data, I can say close and apply. Okay, there are 2 other options. One is called as close and apply. Second is called as apply. Third is called as close. I will help you with all these 3 things. Okay, apply means it is very, very similar to save. Okay, you are going to apply the transformation on the actual data. Second is you are going to close. Close means, okay, you are just going to close this. Nothing will be saved, or none of the transformation will be saved. If you are going to go for close and apply, you are going to close this, and also going to apply the transformation. Right now, if you are able to see this particular, this thing, what I can say, Power BI, you will be able to see the transformation. Okay, here you will be also able to see, okay, two option. One is called as apply transformation and discard transformation. Okay, something like that. Okay, please go slow. Okay, Rathod, no worries. I'm going to go slow. Okay, so what I was actually saying is I was actually helping you how we can actually go to Power Query transformation and how we can basically close and apply the this thing, what I can say, the transformation, what we are doing. Now let me help you with what is meant by Power Query. Power Query is just a script. It is a script which actually transform your actual data, but it will not hurt the original. For example, if you are actually having your actual Excel file, and if you are doing any kind of transformation here in Power Query, the original file will never get affected. You can do anything. You can remove the column, you can add the column, you can do anything. It is possible. But do anything in Power Query, okay, it will stay in Power Query, only in Power BI. It will not touch the original data. This is something what I want to clear, because I have seen many people who get frightened. Oh my God, if I say, remove row ID, even in original data, the row ID will be deleted. So they are a little bit scared. No need to get scared. Okay, you can delete, transform, do anything with Power Query transformation. Even though if you are doing any kind of mistake, it's absolutely fine. It can be fixed. It can be fixed, and all of your transformation will be taken into record. What I basically mean is, if I'm going to click on this people table, okay, previously the the data type was actually looking like this. Okay, I'm just going to see applied steps here. This is the source. Okay, this is the source. From source, we have taken the data and we have loaded it. We have changed it to text, and then what we have done is we have basically promoted the headers. We have told first row as headers. All these things has been noted out. Okay, so if you see here, we have the data. So similarly, if you are doing any kind of other transformations as well, it will be taken a record here. There will be steps that will be involved here. Okay, I will give you one example. I'm just going to go here. Okay, on order table. Okay, I'm just going to refresh the data. Okay, here I have something called as row ID. Do you agree with me? I have something called as row ID. So what I'm going to do is I want to delete this particular row. I have two options. Number one, I can right click it. I have an option called as remove, or else I can click on this column. I have an option called as remove here as well. I can click any of them, one of them. I'm just going to click on this, right click this. I'm just going to say remove. Now I have removed a column, and you can see that there is one script which got added, which is called as removed column. If I'm going to double click this, sometimes if the query is recorded proper way, it will also show. Okay, and similarly, if you want to see the script, there is also something called as advanced editor, where you can actually click. Okay, you will be able to see the script. Okay, here you have the data source which has been fetched from here. This is the Excel file. Okay, order sheet. Okay, this is the order sheet. Okay, here you have removed the column. Okay, see here, table, remove columns, and this is the column that you have removed. Can you see that? So this type of what I can say, transformation that you can do on your system. Okay, so I'm just going to say cancel. Now I want to help you with one of the most interesting thing. That is there is something called as descriptive statistics in Power Query. What does descriptive statistics means? Okay, here I have home, where I have option to load the data, recent source, which are the recent source where I have actually loaded the data. Okay, enter the data wherein I can actually enter manually some data. I have data source settings, manage parameters, refresh. Okay, choose columns, choose rows. Okay, split the column, do group by, replace some values, merge and append queries. Okay, AI insights. Okay, so these are all the things which are actually available in home. Similarly, in transform, you have few of the options which are getting repeated. Like here also you have group by, and here also you have group by. Okay, and adding to that, here you have first row as headers, and here also you have first row as headers, which basically mean things tend to repeat again and again. There are few visuals here, which again, there are few options here. There are few options here which do come here as well. Okay, similarly, you also have an option wherein you can actually create some conditional formats as well and conditional columns as well. Adding to that, here you have something called as view. Okay, I can click on this view. I will unselect everything. Okay, I will unselect everything. So this is the way how you are going to see Power BI. Do you agree with me? This is how you are actually seeing Power BI. Can everyone go to Power Query and see how the Power BI is actually going to look like? Every single person will be actually able to see Power BI like this. Okay, people who have opened Power Query, okay, can say yes or no. Okay, whether they are seeing something similar or not on the chat window. Okay. How you go to Power Query? You have your Power BI. You have something called as in home. In home, you have something called as transform data. You're just going to click on this transform data. Okay, and you will be in Power Query. I hope everyone will be able to see something like this. Now we will do some descriptive analysis on the data. If you have clicked on any one of this, okay, I want all these things to be unselected. Go to view, unselect everything, because we will be understanding this in a very detailed aspect. Yes, Vijay.
Can you I will share my screen, and can you show me how I can go to the Power Query?
Yes, sure. You can share your screen. I'm there to help you out.
Just
yes, you are in Power Query, isn't it?
Can I close and again do that?
Sure, you can close it.
So from this?
No, close and apply.
Okay, close and apply. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
How you will load. So you have apply and discard. So let's assume you have done some transformation which you don't want to apply. So here on the top, okay, you had something called as discard. Okay, you can just click on discard. Everything will shut down. Okay. Now, can you click on in queries? You have something called as transform data. Can you click on transform data? On the top. Okay, you have queries in home itself. Yes, in home, you have something called as transform data. Yes, that's the one. Transform data. That's it. Okay. You are inside Power Query, isn't it? Can you go to view? View. That's good. Can you unselect formula bar and show white spaces? Unselect. Good. Unselect this as well. So Vijay, in your system, what you are actually having is the data set, which is completely blank. Okay. So no insights has been applied on this. So if you click on formula bar, there is a new there is a new, can you see that? There is something called as formula bar, wherein you have a formula. Okay. So the formula is actually saying that what are the various types of transformation it has been done. Okay. Can you click on here? So you can see the formula. You can see the formula which has been applied on that particular step. So here they have something called as change type. So they are changing the data type. They are changing the data type. So all the data types are being provided here. I will be speaking about data types in a couple of minutes in a very detailed aspect, but I just want to have you a rough idea how Power Query transformation actually works. Okay, number one. Can you click on query settings at your extreme left hand corner? Okay, left hand top. There is something called as query settings. Okay, so can you click here anywhere out there that? Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, request control. Okay, beautiful. Can you click on query settings? There is something called as query settings. Can you see that? Here, right here, here. Okay. So many times as a newcomer, okay, people tend to, click on this applied steps. They are going to, there is an option. I will just give you an option. Okay. What they will do is, okay, they will close this. Okay. They will close this and they get panicked. Whoa, where is my Power Query? My Power Query got lost, something like that. So whenever they close Power Query accidentally, they can go to view. They can say Power Query settings. Okay, now there is a Power Query settings will open. Here they have applied steps where the record of all the applied transformation is available. Okay, if any of your subordinates in your organization are doing any kind of mistakes, all these mistakes are also going to be recorded out here. So understanding it, tracking it, okay, and changing it can be really easy, okay, in this situation. Okay, so hope you are clear on this particular part.
And what is this source and promoted headers?
Okay, let me go to advanced editor. Here I also have the advanced editor. If I'm going to click on advanced editor, okay, so there are 3 steps. Just give me a minute, Vijay. Okay, there are 3 steps. One is called a source. Okay, one is called as promoter header. See if you are able to see here. Okay, if you are able to see here, you will be able to see promoter headers. And the third thing is change type. Change type is out here. So these are some formulas. Okay, so this is actually called as Power Query, which is written in something called as M language. I repeat again, it is called as M for monkey. Okay, monkey language. Okay, M language. Okay, so this is also documented in Power Query, and there is no necessity to learn M query language hardcore. Okay, if you have basic understanding on how things are going to work, okay, that's absolutely fine. If you want some advanced transformation, if you want some advanced data preparation part, then only you can actually refer Power Query, M query language documentation. Then there are also well documentation. What is this table dot transform column type will do? Okay, what this table dot promote headers will do, and all these things. So promote headers will actually say, yes, it is actually having a header. That is, the column names are available. Okay, so if you say header is equal to false, okay, if you convert this into false, okay, so it will have column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, like people's table, what you saw, like people's table. Okay, what you saw, something like that. Okay, so I'm just going to say done. This is all. This source is the source of the data. That is this particular thing. Source is equal to CSV, because you are loading the data from CSV file. Okay, you can also see here, this is a CSV file, and file contains, this is the path from where you are actually loading the file, and it is a comma delimiter. Okay, all this information is actually recorded here. Can you see that?
Yes.
Vijay?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to say okay, done. Okay, and these are some of the information which you have on your system. Interestingly, there are also some of the advanced options which are also available here, which are called as data preview, which is actually called as data preview. For example, if I'm going to click on column profile, I repeat again, if I'm going to click on column profile, I am able to get the information. I am able to get the information related to the specific column. I can just bring this down, something like this here. Okay, I'm able to see all the columns, which is the odd, how many events I have, what is the standard deviation, what is the average, okay, what is the maximum, what is the minimum, and all these things. Can you see that? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, all this information is available in your system. Okay, and along with that, if you see this in a very detailed aspect, okay, the 3, the observation called as 3 is repeating only once in the table. So this is not giving me much information. Okay, what I will do is I have something called a shipping mode. Can you see that?
Yes.
I have something called a shipping mode. If I'm going to click on this, it is going to provide me how many first class I have, how many standard class I have, how many same day I have, how many this thing. It will provide me the count. It will provide me the count. Can you see that? 586 observation, which is 58% of 1000 values are having this particular standard class. Similarly, second class, okay, 213, that is 21% of the 1000 values are having this particular thing called as second class. They are second class. Similarly, first day are followed with 184, and similarly, same day is being followed by 17. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you might be saying, Sangamesh, we have only 1000 rows or 9000 rows. Let me check. Can you go to your Excel file and can you have a check how many rows of data you have? Can you do that for me? Don't show, okay? 9,995. But Power Query is saying only 1000. You might be confused, isn't it? Why it is showing only 1000? Huh? Can you go to Power Query? The reason why it is doing is to optimize things. What really happens is, this is something like 9,000 rows, but when you are connecting big data, like, a server which is actually having 5 GB, 10 GB or something like that, it can be really difficult for Power BI to handle and compute 1000, 10 GB of data, because it's very, very computationally expensive in a system, isn't it? So in that case, to optimize things, I repeat again, to optimize things, it is going to take only the first 1000 rows, the top 1000 rows.
Okay.
Got what I'm saying? So, and this can be seen here. Can you see that? There is something called as column profile based on top 1000 rows. Okay. So if I'm going to click on this, there is another thing called as column profile based on the entire data set. If I'm going to click on entire data set, okay.
तुम्ही हे प्रोजेक्ट करा ना त्याच्यावर.
काय झालं?
Nothing.
Okay. So if you are able to see that you have 9,994 rows, that the first column is the header, right? So that's the reason it is showing 9,994. Now you have the complete data set. Now if you see here, okay, so it is 5,968 rows are having standard class. Similarly, 1,947 are of ship second class. Similarly, first class with this thing, you can hover on that. You can hover on the visualization. Okay, you will be able to you can hover on value distribution. So here you can see that it is 1,538. Similarly, same day it is 543, which is something like 5%. Now you are having this information, but I want to warn you. If you want to do data descriptive analysis, this is only good for understanding what is actually happening with the data. But in reality, I repeat again, in reality, if you are going to say entire data set, there will be lots of issues. I repeat again, you will be having lots of issues with the query performance. Your query are going to be very, very slow. That's the reason it is always advisable. I repeat again, it is always advisable to change to top 1000 rows. Okay, now you might be saying, hey Samesh, you are saying 1000 rows, then my transformation will be applied for only 1000 rows or what? No, whenever you are going to say transform in Power Query, it is going to show on only 1000, that all the transformation will be shown on 1000, but in reality it will be applied on the entire data set, on all the 9994 rows. For all those rows, whatever transformation that you are doing in Power Query, it will be applied. There won't be something like the transformation will be shown for only 1000 or something. This 1000 is only used to optimize the query, so that the queries what you are doing is little bit fast. The development process, I repeat again, your Power BI development process is robust, is fast. For that specific thing, they are doing this particular option. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I am clear.
Okay, so Vijay, can you unclick column profile and click column distribution now? Can you unclick column profile, which is on the top in data preview? Can you click on column distribution now? Can you click on column distribution? So here I have how many distinct value, how many unique, and I also have a histogram kind of thing. It's not a histogram exactly, but a histogram kind of thing, okay, which actually helped me to understand what is the, is there any kind of outlier or what, how is it? You can detect outliers. Okay, you can detect outliers in this particular thing. For example, there might be only one, value which might be in thousands, and rest all of them will be, okay, in a very small negligible fashion, something like that. All this outlier detection can be done here. Okay, you can see which are those values which can be causing the problem and something like that. By using column distribution and column profile, you can understand the data better. So here, can you hold on for a while, Vijay? So if you see here, you have something called as row ID, the first column at your extreme. Can you see that? So here they are saying 1000 distinct and 1000 unique, which basically means every single row is not repeating, it is unique. There is something called as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not repeating. It is only once in the entire this thing. You can actually go here. You can just click on this particular icon, this here. Okay, you will get a filter. You can say only one and say okay. If you see, there is only one variable which is called as 1. Okay, similarly you can apply on any of the variable. It is going to repeat only once. Can you see that? All these informations are being provided here. Okay, all these informations are being provided here. Okay, hope you are clear on this particular part, guys. Hope you are clear on this particular part.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So similarly, you also have something called as column quality. Can you click on column quality now? Can you click on column quality? Beautiful. Can you unclick column distribution? Can you unclick column distribution? Beautiful. So here I am going to have, okay, the information on how many valid you have, how many error you have, how many empty values you have. You can just scroll around with all the columns. You can scroll around. Okay, you can scroll around with all the columns. You will be able to see none of the values are actually having error, and none of the values are actually having empty data. So all the data are being provided. So this type of setup is actually going to help you to understand your data better. So which data is having missing value? Which is that outlier? What is the column distribution? Which is my average? Which is my standard deviation? So all these questions can be answered using something called as data preview. Are you with me, guys? Are you with me? Do you have any questions?
Actually, this is only for checking purpose. Means we can check data which we have already uploaded is corrected or something is wrong in there.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir. So this can be very essential, sir, because if there is any error, okay, so let's assume your row number 6 is going to have an error. What will actually happen is your visualization will get affected. If you are not going to clean here, if you are not going to sanitize your data here, okay, your visualization will get problem. Okay, the visualization will throw errors. Okay, to avoid all of them, the cleaning and understanding data is very, very important, and Power BI data preview is going to help you to understand your data better. And being into BI industry, the first thing what you have to do is understand your data. Okay, so and Power Query is going to help you to understand your data. Okay.
Can system show us if there is an error file? Can system pop up us? So show me that there is the error and in this line and this column like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, you can do two things, Vijay. Okay. Number one, okay. If I go to home, okay, here I have something called as row columns. Okay. And along with that, I also have remove rows. If I'm going to click here, I have certain options which have something called as remove errors. So let's assume, it normally happens with what I can say, Excel files. Excel files do contain lots of errors. Okay. So in that case, you have this error, you can remove this error. I will be speaking how this error is going to come and what are these errors and all, but be with me. I'm just going to say how to clean these errors and all. Okay. So you can just do cleaning here, or else you can find how many errors you have. And you also have an option wherein, just give me a minute. You also have an option wherein you have options to remove this thing, or else, here you have something called as blank values. Okay, here you have something called as blank values where you can actually click on that particular error and all. Okay, error or blank values which are actually available here. You can try to understand using filter, or you can remove the rows, okay, by using remove rows. And all these options are actually available in Power Query. Hope you are clear on this particular part. I think I have answered your question, isn't it, Vijay?
Sangamesh,
Yes.
I have one query. Can you show 2-3 examples, the files which are having the error and they are showing some error?
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah.
I will do that right now. Okay.
Yeah. Also, you can show from if you have any dashboard which is showing the wrong data and then you are correcting from the data.
No. We will do it everything live itself.
Okay.
Okay. We will make mistake and we will rectify that mistake. Can you go to this Excel file that is called as order 2017? This is order 2017.
Yes.
Can you see, we will alter one of the table. Okay, we will say 7H. We'll just say 7H. I'm just going to save this. Okay, I have my order 2017 data, which has row number 8 as 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for home. I'm just going to refresh this. As soon as I refresh, there is something called as error here. Can you see that? Sir, the reason why you will get error is because every single column is having one specific data type. Can you agree with me? So as you are using one numerical data and one categorical data, which is also called as a text data. Okay, that is one reason you are getting this error.
But in above,
error showing 0%.
So we have to this thing, what I can say, if we have too many errors or something like that, see, if you say empty, if you say error, okay, it will say one of it is having that. You have to hover on it. Okay, if you are going to have very negligible number like 1, 2, 3 or something like that in the entire data set, if you calculate the percentage, it will be something like 0.000001, something like that, right? So for that particular thing, you can just hover on it. Okay, you will be able to see that how many errors and how many valids you have or something like that. It will be provided in this thing, but right now it is not providing. Okay, see here, This is actually having something called a 7H. That's the reason you have this error. Okay. So see here, you are also having this. See, right now it is showing. Okay. It is little bit slow. Okay. So you have to refresh couple of times. Now you will be able to see. Okay. You have one error in the entire data set. Can you see that? Okay. And similarly, you have 0 empty. The information is not being shown here. So you can go here. You won't be able to see this error here. You won't be able to see this error here, but you will be able to remove this error here. Okay, what I can do is I will go to rows. I will say remove error. Something like this. I can remove that. So now I don't have something called as row number 11. I also have something called as remove error. So can you see that? Remove error. I have this removed. Okay. Can you see that? So something like this, I can eliminate those errors, or else fix those errors in the data set itself. I can go to data. I can say, okay, this is called a 7H, right? That's the reason it is calling a problem. So I will change it to only 7, because Power BI has something called as data types. Power BI has something called as data types. Okay, and these are the set of data types that you can actually choose. I will be hovering on all the data types. I will be explaining all the single data set. What is the difference between decimal, fixed decimal, whole number, percentage, and all of them. But here you have to try to understand that there are set of data set. And if you are saying a whole number, this is the whole number. If you are saying the data type is going to be a whole number, see here. If you are going to say the data type is whole number, you cannot, I repeat again, you cannot put a different data type in that particular column. Like what I have just done. I have told 7H, right? So 7 was a numerical data. H was a text. You must not incorporate those kind of things. Now you might be saying, hey, Sangmesh, here you see, you have CA, then 2019, then you have 152, 16 and all, you also have this hyphen. Here it is working and here it is not working. How is it possible? So in that case, guys, in that case, this need to be considered as a text rather than a number. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to undo this. I will just say remove. I have error. Do you agree with me? I have error. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this. I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to say text. Okay. And I'm just going to say refresh. Okay, it's not taking. I think there is some issue with this thing. So you can actually convert it to the data type. You can also fix the data type in that. Okay, so what you can do is you can say, okay, now I want the specific data to be loaded in a form of the text data. When you have text data, there won't be any kind of such issues. Okay, but if you try to change a numerical column to a categorical column, then you are changing it to this thing, then there will be little bit of issues with what I can say this thing. But by changing this to text data, many times this specific thing can be actually solved, Okay, let me do something like this. I will say data source change type. Here I have something called as change type, right? So here what I will do is I'm just going to copy this and put it out here. I will say put it out here. Okay, I will call this as text. Let me see what will actually happen now. Okay, text spelling is wrong. Okay, so that's the reason I always hate, oh, type, I have missed a type. TYPE, type. Now it is fine. Let me say. Yep, I just told text type. Now, if you are able to see, I have fixed the error. Now, as the data is getting loaded in the text data, now this is a text data. This is not a number. Previously, it was called as number, whole number. Now it is not a number. Now it is a text. So you have an option to change the data type, okay, in a specific order, okay, where this type of issues are going to be resolved. Hope you are able to get it. Hope you are able to get it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so one is to change the data type, or else remove it. Two options. Change it or remove it. Okay, only these two options are available. Okay, nothing else. Okay, replace option is not available. I repeat again, replace option is not available for errors. Replace options are available. Replace options are available with any other format. For example, here I have something called a second class. I want to convert this second class to second class, something like this. See here, I'm just going to click on this here. Be with me. I'm just going to click on this, right click this. Please make sure I'm just going to right click on this. I'm just going to say replace values. Okay, I will say insert. I want to insert one this thing as well. So here, second class will be called as second class, something like this. I'm just going to say okay. See here, there will be a new value, which there is a new script which got added in between this, and now it is called as second class. Now it is called as second class. Okay, if you see all the filters, okay, now you don't have something called a second class, which is written SECOND, second class, not like this. You have to and class. Agree with me, guys? Agree with me? So here you can actually change a specific variable. Okay, you can change a specific variable. Okay, but you cannot change an error. I repeat again, you cannot change an error. Please keep this in your mind. That's it. Clean and clear, guys. Clean and clear. Can
you repeat this command? Replace.
Sure. Replace, right? Sure, I will do that. Okay, sure, I will do that. I'm just going to delete this again. Now you have this called as shipping mode. Okay, I tried to insert in between the script. Okay, so now I can also edit. I can also put the script here as well. Okay, so here what I'm actually going to do, just a minute. Here what I'm actually going to do is, let's assume I want to change one specific level. Okay, so there are three types of levels, 3 or 4 types of levels, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 types of levels. First is called as first class, second class, first class, same day, second class, and standard class. So let's assume I want to change first class. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to check first class here. Okay, I have first class here. Okay, I'm just going to click on that value. I will repeat again. I have to click on that value. Okay, I have to search the value. I have to click on that value. After that, I can right click it. Please repeat this. I have to right click on my mouse. And say replace value. I have to say replace value. Okay, here I have something called as, okay, first class, which is out here. Okay, this is the actual value. And this actual value can be replaced with something called as first class, something like this. Okay, I'm going to say, okay. Now, if I'm going to see here, I have first class, 1 ST class, something like that. Clean and clear, Ashwini? Clean and clear?
Yes.
So now what I want is, I want everyone to have a check on data preview, number 1. And adding to that, I also want them to change one level, any level, choose any column. If you want to change date, order date, you can change it. You can change like 11/10/2008. You can do that. Or else if you want to change shipping date, change it. Or else if you want to change customer, corporate, and all the segments, do it as per your requirement, as per your availability. Try to change or replace one specific level. Yes, sir. Yes, Vijay.
Just one thing regarding this date format. How would Power BI behave for date format? Because see, from SAP, we are downloading a data into dot format. Okay, here we have seen dash or slash or something. So what Power BI is reading as a date format?
I will explain that. Okay, I will explain that because we haven't started discussing data types, right? So first complete your assignment. First complete your task right now. So after that, I will be speaking about the date format. Okay. I will be addressing your question. Meanwhile, try to do this particular activity. Vijay, if you are able to stop sharing your screen, I can do that particular activity on my system.
Sangamesh,
Yes, yes, sir.
the team is asking for a 10 minutes break.
We will be taking break exactly in 3 minutes.
Okay.
At 3:30. How to restore deleted column? Rathod has actually asked a really beautiful question. I will be also addressing it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just going to share my screen. I hope everyone is able to see my screen, isn't it? So Rathod has actually asked me a beautiful question saying that, hey, Sangmesh, I am going to delete one column. I have deleted one column meanwhile. Okay, I have deleted something called as row ID. Row ID was the first column in the Excel file. Row ID was the first column in the Excel file. I have deleted that column. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is, see here, if I'm going to see, I have something called as removed columns. If I'm going to say formula bar, okay, if I'm going to say formula bar, I'm actually able to see which specific column I have removed. So I have removed something called as row ID. So now Rathod is saying, hey, Sangmesh, I want that column back. Can you get my column back? Yes, you can do that. How you can do that? You can go here. You can say remove, something like this. Remove. You will get your row ID. You will get your row ID. Hope you are clear on this particular. I hope, Rathod, I have answered your question. Just give me a confirmation if I have actually answered your this thing. Okay. Yes, thank you very much, Rathod. Okay. So I'm just going to see my column quality as well. Column quality, column profile, okay, and column distribution. I have selected all of them. I'm able to see now all this column profiling is being done for top 1000 rows. Okay, and interestingly guys, I will also help you with one of the most important thing, that is you can rename this. You can rename this. For example, change type. What specific column you have changed? I can say change CHANGED, changed. Okay, I have changed which specific column. I will say row ID. Row ID, changed row ID, data type. I can write these kind of things. I can write these kind of things, and these are very much essential because see, you might be doing a lot of transformations, data transformation, and you have to understand what is this data transformation is doing. And it can be really difficult to go to advanced editor, try to understand what is the script, try to understand what the script is doing and all these things. It can be really, really tedious for every person. So for that specific reason, what we do is we transform the data and we also take a note of it. We also take a note of it. Hope you are able to understand it. Okay, so I will take a break. Not right now, within something like 2 minutes. Just give me exactly 2 minutes. I will provide you a break. Second, I told you how to remove. I told you how to remove the data type from here. Okay, or data type or transformations, how to remove it. I have told you right here. So how to, if you have removing it, you have to manually do it. There is no Control Z method. There is no Control Z. You are just going to delete and, oh, I deleted it by mistake. Sangmesh, is there any possibility that I can get it back? No, not possible. That option is not available in Power Query itself. And adding to that, if you want to delete a table itself, for example, I have something called as order 2017. This is the order 2017 table. Now I want to delete it. How do I delete it? I can just right click it. See here, I'm very specific here. Right click it and say delete. So it will say, are you sure you want to delete from order 2017? Yes, I want to delete it. I can delete it. And adding to that, I can also group tables. For example, for your organization, some of the data is coming from SAP. Agree with me. Some of the data might be coming from finance department, which is internal finance department. I know SAP is a ERP, but yet you might be having some external data from vendors data or something like that, which is coming from an API, SQL Server, any of it. Okay, it might be coming from a backdoor or something like that. So you can create folders. Okay, you can create folders. You can create something called as group, something like this. Okay, you can put some group name, SAP data, something like that. SAP data. Here you can put some description. This data is coming from SAP. So these are very much essential. These are very much essential because see, if you are sharing this dashboard to a new Power BI developer, he won't be knowing from where data is coming from, what data is coming. You can actually write something like this. So if someone is going to hover on this table, okay, he will be able to, this data is coming from SAP. Okay, this is SAP data. And you can actually arrange this. For example, I have something called as order table, which is coming from SAP data, right? I can move this data. I can say right click this, move to group. I can say SAP data. Now this order table is inside SAP data. Agree with me. These are the things which are going to make your life very, very easy when you are developing Power BI. Okay. I think Rajesh is having some question. Yes, Rajesh.
No.
No, right? Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So, okay. We will take a break. Okay. So we will take a break of 15 minutes or 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. Okay. Now I have set a timer for 10 minutes. I'm just going to stop.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We will catch up exactly after 10 minutes, guys.
Okay.
Hey, hi, hello everyone. Welcome back. Just give me a confirmation if you're back on the chat. Sanjay Goyal is back. How about Rathod is back? Thank you, Rathod. Ravindra is back. Thank you, Ravindra. Vijay is back. Good. Vijay is back. Then Rahul Sharma. Thank you, Rahul Sharma. You're also back. That's good. How about others? How about others? We have a good number of people, isn't it? Praveen is back. That's good. Hey, hi. Akshay. Khimandas, Rahul Sharma, Amit Kumar Kulkarni. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, I think many of the people are back. Okay, so I just want to answer, one of the question which was been raised by Rathod. Okay, so Rathod was actually asking that, hey, Sangamesh, is there any shortcut keys in Power BI and all? Yes, there are shortcut keys, but there are no shortcut keys for this thing. What I can say, Power Query. Okay, let me show you. Power BI shortcut keys. Yes, that's the one. So when I say that, okay, there is something called as docs.microsoft.com-Power BI. Okay, create reports. So here I have couple of information on the shortcut keys which are actually available. And I always say that kindly refer, I repeat again, I always say kindly refer Microsoft documents only. Okay, so there are really good books. I want to suggest you that there is a wonderful book written by Alberto and Ferrari, okay, and Mokos. Okay, it's called as Unlimited DAX Ferrari. Huh? Okay, so this is a really wonderful book. Okay, for Power BI. I can actually suggest you. Okay, I have this book. I can actually suggest you this book. But the thing is, this will get outdated within few months. I repeat again. And this is the second version which was written in the month of 2019 or 2020. I assume so. Okay. So what really happens here is the Power BI is one such area which has been, updating on monthly basis, due to which, see here, this document was been updated on 4/7/2022, which basically means on April 7th this document was been updated. Similarly, I can go anywhere. For example, if I want to say goals, so this goals has been incorporated very recently, very recently. So that's the reason. See here, 04/08/2022, how to use these goals. So that is one reason. Okay, you always need to follow. You can always need to follow Power BI documentation, and these are the holy grail. These are the holy grail. This is the first, help document what I want to suggest. Second type of help document what I also want to suggest is called as Power BI community. Power BI community. So if you go to this Power BI community, you have, a huge number of people who are being speaking on, desktop. They are speaking on Power BI surveys, Power BI report server, Power Query, mobile application developer, okay, DAX command and tips. Okay, so they have all the subjects. Okay, for example, if you want to understand something on DAX, you can just click on DAX. If you want to understand something on Power Query, you can just click on Power Query. So there are something like 72,541 discussions on Power Query. There are something like 67,338 discussion on DAX. Okay, similarly something like 85,008, oh sorry, extremely sorry, it's 8,58,043 from Power BI desktop. Okay, hope you are able to see. So these are the types of discussion which are actually happening on this thing. So here you have your Power BI service, here your app.powerbi.com, how to use Power BI Premium, Power BI Data Flow, Power BI dashboards, reports, sharing, and all these things. All of them are mentioned here. Okay, so this is something what I want everyone to use. And adding to that, if you see here, okay, so these are the shortcuts. So unfortunately, when you speak about Power Query, there are no shortcuts. You have shortcuts for visuals, you have shortcuts for table metrics, you have shortcuts for navigation pane, you have shortcuts for slicers, okay, selection pane, DAX editor, okay, enter data and all these things. But unfortunately, there is nothing mentioned for Power Query. Okay, so I can just put this documentation, okay, on the chat so that you can use. Okay, I will say everyone. Okay, so I think I have answered your question, isn't it, Rathod? Okay, so meanwhile, if anyone is having any other questions, they can ask me. I'm there to help them.
I have one query.
Yes, Vijay.
I just upload one data from Excel file.
Okay.
Just want to share my screen.
Sure, sir. You can do that.
Just 1 minute. Okay, so can you see the screen?
Beautiful, beautiful. I got it.
What happened? I have one file in which there is no first column is blank. First, there was when I upload the file, that time there was blank in the series. This ID is blank. Okay, I upload it, then I got the error. Then again I update the series, save the file, and again I want to refresh that file. Okay, but the system showing me that error.
So what we have to do is we have to understand what type of error it is. It is saying data source error. Okay, it is showing data source error. So there is an option called as data source settings. Not right there. Can you see on the top? Can you see on the top? Okay. No. There itself. Okay, you have close and apply. Just beside that you have new source. Just beside that you have recent source. Just beside that you have enter data set. Enter data. Just beside that you have data source and settings. Right? Can you click on that, please? Okay. So right now you can say change data source. You can say change data source. Can you click on change data source? Beautiful. Okay, can you browse? Click say browse. Yes. Okay, can you find where is the file?
Actually, that is the Excel file.
That is the Excel file. Though that is the Excel file. Okay.
This one.
This one. Okay. Yes, I got it. Sir, actually the thing is the format might be different. Can you say close? Can you say close? So here you are saying CSV, but right there it is not a CSV file. I think it has been saved into Excel workbook. Huh? Can you say browse now? So I think it might be of enter a name or close the file that open. Okay, if I can you close the Excel file? Okay, this particular Excel file. Okay, so can you say open? Okay, beautiful. So this is the Excel access. Okay, so can you say close? Beautiful. Okay, so I think it will get loaded. Okay. Okay, extremely sorry. I think we have loaded the wrong Excel file. I think we have loaded 2017. So can you go to 2017 now? Okay. I am able to understand it. Okay. So can I take access of your system?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, let me click on this. Let me click on this. So let me say Power Query Editor. Okay. So what is the path? Okay, so this is the path where you have your data, HO reporting in class India for performance report, copy. Okay, so what we can do is we can just replace this specific path right here. Number one, this is the first option. Or else what we can do is we can go to data source settings. Okay, order so and so report performance. This is the one. I'm just going to say change data source. So I will say browse. I will say this is the report, right?
Yes.
I will say open. Okay, and I will say okay. And I will say close. This need to get fixed. Yep, this got fixed.
Okay.
Something like this.
Okay.
Okay. So right now you were saying that there is a first row, right? So which got deleted or something like that.
No, what happened previously in first row there is no entry question. There is 1, 2, 3. There is no that first column is blank.
Yes, sir.
So in that case, can we upload the file?
Yes, we can do that. And for example, let's assume in Excel it can be really frequent because sometimes they tend to put one blank row, completely blank row. In that case, you have an option called as remove rows. Okay, in that you can actually say remove that top row or bottom row or something like that. You can do that particular thing, or you can say specific row, and you can eliminate that particular row. You can prepare that data like that as well. Okay, sometimes what will actually happen is there will be it normally happens with Excel. So there will people will keep 3 to 4 rows blank, and then they will paste one table in middle. Okay, so these are some common problems. So in that case, you can actually keep these rows or remove rows. You can use these options and do the data preparation and all these things. Hope you're clear on this particular part, Vijay. Okay, possible, no need to worry. Okay, you have all the options in Power Query. Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, sir. So any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Okay, so Vijay, can you stop sharing your screen, please? Okay, thank you very much. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Okay, wonderful. So previously what I was actually asking everyone was to prepare something like groups like this. And these groups are very much important for various reasons. Because when you have something like 2 or 3 tables right now, but when you have multiple data source, multiple this thing, it can be really confusing which table is coming from where. And it's really critical for people who are really new to the organizations. For those kind of things, these kind of help documents can be really helpful. You can also write some descriptions. Okay, you can also write some descriptions here as well. Okay, so you have an option, just give me a minute. Oh, you have an option in properties. Okay, in properties here you have your options to write your descriptions. You can use this, or else the one what I have actually showed previously. Okay, even that both will do the same task. Okay, you can write from where this data source is coming, what this data source consists of, which are the tables. All these things can be actually documented, well documented, and you don't realize it at the starting. Okay, starting you will just load it, you will do the data preparation and do. But when you have multiple dashboards, so when I deal with my organization, I have something like 20 dashboards, 25 dashboards. So managing all those dashboards can be really difficult, and documenting those dashboards can also be very tedious. So for that particular thing, we tend to keep all these notes. Okay, notes here as well as notes here as well. These are the best industrial practice. These are some best industrial practice what we follow as a Power BI developers. Okay, and I also request everyone to follow the same. So if you even like to see what are the various best industrial practices, there are some best industrial practice, PRACTIC practice, Power Query. Power Query. Okay, Power Query, Power BI. So it is released by Microsoft itself. improve model performance. Yep, wonderful. This is the one. So if how to build the model, how to do these things, they have these options. Okay. They have these options that you can actually follow. Okay, but these are some of the information which are provided. Second type of information what we always ask is, don't go for wide data, go for long data. Okay, the reason I hope everyone know about wide data and long data before I proceed. If someone don't know, say no, I can explain that. So we basically require long data rather than wide data. Wide data are those data which can consume lots of space in Power Query. So that's the reason Power Query can also be slower when you have a wide data. So we always recommend everyone to go with a long data. Okay, and adding to that columns need to be chosen. Okay, for example, if you feel that this column is not important, feel free to eliminate this. For example, this column is not used for any visualization, feel free to remove it. By removing these columns, you are going to optimize the query. Your queries are going to be faster. So these are some best practices that you can actually involve. So I'm giving you few of the best practices which are actually involved. You can actually Google down, read the Microsoft documentation for Power Query. There are something like 8 best practices which are actually available. Okay, for Power Query. Okay, so I told you something like 3 to 4 right here. Okay, so now as you have understood how to eliminate a specific column, how to transform a specific value, adding to that you also understood how to check these data preview descriptions. Okay, you have a fair understanding on all these aspects. Okay, do you have any questions, guys? Here, do you have any questions here? Do you have any questions here? I assume there is no question. So let me proceed. So now let's assume we are going to explore few more aspects which are available here. Okay, I think I have one comment. Can you please repeat? Rathod, can you specify what I want to repeat? Or what you want me to repeat? Yes, Rathod.
Please repeat the same part.
Sorry?
The same part.
Recent part.
Recent part?
What last year?
Recent part. So I was basically speaking about the best practices of a Power Query. And I also gave you a small description. What are the things that we have covered in this section? Okay. And now what I was actually trying to help you is we will try to explore a couple of various options which are actually available here. Okay. So this was something what I told. Are you clear on this?
Okay.
Okay, that's wonderful, guys. That's wonderful. Okay, so what I was actually saying, extremely sorry. So what I was actually saying is we have explored few of the options, like we have explored data source settings. We have not explored it completely, why it has been used and all, but be with me. We will be understanding, exploring all of them. We will be coming to this. There is something called as manage parameters. So manage parameters are majorly used when you have API integrations. Like if you are getting data from API, then this manage parameters can be really helpful. Point number 1. Point number 2, these manage parameters are also very much important when you are actually loading data from SQL servers. Okay, so you want to load the data based on a specific criteria or parameter. Okay, so this manage parameters will actually help you. Third is there is also something called as incremental refresh. I repeat again, there is also something called as incremental refresh. So for incremental refresh also we tend to use this Power Query. Okay, Power Query, manage parameters. So this manage parameters have some parameter settings. Like you can say I want to create a new parameter. Okay, I want to create a new parameter. I can keep a name for that parameter. I can put some description for that parameter. What is this parameter is going to do? Along with that, I can actually specify the type, okay, the data type. Okay, let's assume this is a date parameter, date and time parameter. Suggest a value. Okay, I want to provide a list of variables. Like here, I can provide some list of variables like date 1/1/2021 or date 2/1/2022. So I can put some parameters, some fixed date values. Okay, and and I can say okay. And this parameter, I can use it to load the data, number one, to append the data, update the data, and all these things. So majorly, manage parameters is one such function which is majorly used for loading and transforming data, basically in the process of loading. So what really happens is when you have a really huge data, so what they will do is they will say, okay, I want to get the data only from 2022. Okay, from 2022 January to 2022 April, something like that. So this manage parameter can actually trigger that function, and you can load the function based on these parameters. I'm just giving you a small idea. Even incremental refresh is also going to do. Okay, so which is the latest date? Okay, this is the latest date. If there is any other latest date which is actually coming in the API, then take only that information and append the data, something like that. So for data appending and all, we tend to use this manage parameters. Right now, we don't have such a complex data. So I'm just going to leave that particular part. You can explore this if you are playing around with API or else incremental refresh or getting data from SQL Server. Okay. And adding to that, you have properties. Okay, as soon as I told that properties, you can provide some description out here. You can write and document things out here. And along with that, you also have something called as manage, where you can actually delete a specific data or something like that. You can delete or duplicate or do something like that here as well. You can just click, copy, delete, okay, rename, duplicate. You also have this option. You also have options here. So that is one reason I have been keep on saying multiple routes for the same destination. There are multiple options to do the same thing. So here you have, okay, what I can say, choose columns, where you can specifically choose a specific column. I want only this column. I want to remove this specific column, something like that. You can remove some specific rows as well. Okay, which rows I want to keep, which rows I want to remove, and all these things. You can sort the data as well. You can sort the data from highest to lowest or lowest to highest. You also have an option here as well, ascending to descending and descending to ascending.
Sangabe,
Yes, sir.
regarding that, keep those rows or remove those rows. Can you please perform those?
Sure. So what I'm going to do is, let's assume I'm going to take a sample, a random sample, like I want to take alternate rows. Okay, I want to remove the one which is in the middle. Okay, so in that case, what I will do is I will click on this. I will click on this one specific this thing. I will say remove rows. Here I have something called as remove alternate rows. So if I'm going to say remove alternate rows, so what will actually happen here is, okay, remove alternate rows. It will provide me this thing, what I can say, which is the first row. I will say first row. And how many rows I want to remove, I will say something like 50 rows I want to remove. Number of real rows to keep, I will say something like 1000, not 1000. We have only 1000, right? I will say something like 500. Let's see. Okay, I will say okay. Okay, so here I have some random variables which are being taken. Okay, so I can basically see that I have removed certain rows based on that specific parameter. So similarly, I can remove specific variables, like I want to remove the top row. Okay, like one for the first one. Okay, see here. Okay, top rows, number of rows. I want to remove the first 10 rows or something like that. Okay, can you see that? I have removed the first 10 rows. Okay, similarly, I want to go ahead and remove duplicates. Right now, this is not having duplicates. I think this shipping mode is having 4 distinct value, right? So I will say, I will click on this. Based on this, remove all the duplicates variable. I will say remove duplicates. See here, remove duplicates. Can you see that? Can you see that? So this is how you are going to operate. This is how you are going to operate. Okay, so everything is GUI, which basically means graphically user interface. There is only clicks that is involved, and when you are actually going to click this, everything is self-explanatory. Everything is self-explanatory. Like if I want to choose columns or choose columns or choose rows, I can also do that. Okay, and all these options are actually available here. Okay, clear and clear?
Yes, Sangamesh.
Yes.
Is there any Excel all option is the ascending, descending like that option or filter out? So
Yes,
such is there.
Sorry, sir.
Means I want to ascending and descending the column. Means there are whatever the my entries I want to ascend means descending order. So such Excel functionality is in there, all functionality.
Not all the functionalities, but some of the functionalities is available, sir. Not all the functionality, like ascending and descending. Can you see that? I have used descending. Now, if I want to sort it as ascending, so see here. Now the data will be sorted to ascending, something like this.
Okay.
So even though if I can also put some filters as well, so I can say that I want like in shipping mode, I want only first class. I want only first class, something like that. Only first class information will be available here. Can you see that? And if I'm going to say close and apply, see here, if I'm going to say close and apply, okay, if I'm going to go for Power Query, sorry, I will get two options, apply and discard. If I say discard, all this transformation will be discarded. Okay, so now I have order table. Now I have order table, which is having only first class. Can you see that? There is only one level called as first class.
Sangamesh,
No, yes, sir.
Rathod here.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain choose column? How to choose? By
Choose column.
index
Okay,
or
sure.
by title?
This can be really helpful for those kind of transformation where you want to choose a column. Like I want to choose only order ID. Okay, I want to choose order date, and I also want to choose shipping date. Only these three columns. I will say choose columns. That's it. Okay, so all of the rest columns, all of the rest columns, okay, like all of the rest columns will be removed. So this can be really essential, Rathod, for in that way, like you have large amount of 365 columns. So out of this 365 columns, you require only 2 columns. You don't require all these columns. So what will actually happen is, as I've told you, if you are getting data in a wide format, okay, when you have data in a wide format, the query performance can be really hectic. So that is one reason why we have to make is the data need to be very simple. Okay, so the data need to be prepared in such a way that you have only essential columns. I repeat again, you need to have only essential columns which are required for visualization. You need to remove unwanted columns. If it is not going to be used for visualization, remove it. Please remove it. If you are not going to remove it, you may not face a problem today, but tomorrow you will surely face a problem. Okay, and you will pay me something like lakhs of billing to optimize a dashboard. I'm being very frank with you.
If we need to add more columns, then how to?
You can add it. Like you have an option called as merging. I will also come to that particular part. Okay, I will explain that particular part. Let me remove it. So Rathod is asking one of the interesting question. So what Rathod is saying is, hey Sangmesh, I have people table. Okay, here people table. So if you see this people table, I have something called as West, East, Central, South. It is called as region. Okay, clear and clear. In people table, we have something called as region, which is having West, East, Central, South. If you see order table, even in order table, we have a column called as region, which is having Central, East, South, West. Now Rathod is saying, hey Sangmesh, can you get that data into this table, order table? I don't want people table. I want only order table. In order table, can you put that people's name? For example, if it is South, then it is going to be Cassandra. Okay. If it is going to be where is this region? Where is this region? Okay. If it is going to be west, okay, if it is going to be west, then it will be Anna. Can you get this information there? Yes, it is possible. We can merge the table. So what I have to do is I have to click here. I have to say merge queries. Okay, I have to say merge queries. So here I have my order table. So here I have another table. So this is the current table. This is the people table. I have my people table here. And here I have my method of joining these two tables. So there are various tables like left join, outer join, full join, inner join, anti-join. So you can actually understand the joins by just typing types of join. Okay. Okay. You will be getting the graphical representation, how these SQL joins are, something like this. What is inner join? What is outer join? Okay. Outer join. See here, outer join, inner join. Okay. Outer full join, all these options. So all these are available here. So see here, left join. I want to do a full outer join or else full inner join. Okay, I will do an inner join. Okay. Then what I can do is I need to select the region here, and then I have to select the region here as well. I just need to click these columns. I just need to click this column, select these columns like this, select these columns like this. As soon as I select this, okay, I have to say okay. I will repeat again. The first thing what I have to do is I have to go to merge query. So here I have my parent table. I repeat again. Here I have my parent table. This is my order table. Okay, here I have my people table. I'm just going to click this people table. I'm just going to select this here. Then what I have to do is I have to select this. If I'm not going to select, I will not get this OK function. Please remember this. I have to select this region here. Okay, I have this function called as region here as well. Okay, then I have to choose the function how I want to join. Okay, inner join or outer join and all these things. Okay, then it is going to say after joining these two columns, I will be having 9,994 rows, and matching rows are 9,994 rows. So all of 100% of the data is getting matched. What it means. Okay, and then I'm going to say okay. Okay, so now here I have something called as people table. I can just expand this table. See here, I have an option called as expand this table. I want only persons data. If I'm going to say okay, now I have a column called as people person, which is going to have the name of the representative. So here we have something called as Cassandra, who is going to handle South region. Agree with me? Who is going to handle South region? I hope I have answered your question, isn't it, Rathod?
Yes.
Okay. Similarly, let's assume Rathod is having another question. Hey, you are showing how to merge one column with another column like this. What if I want to update? I want to update the row. I want to add some new row. How to do that? Show me. Rathod may have this question. So what I'm going to do is I will also append the data. So here I have something called as order data. Okay, here I have something called as order data that you can actually see here. Okay, so I'm just going to expand table, merge query. I'm just going to remove this. Okay, I'm just going to remove this. Here I have my order table. Adding to that, I will also load something called as order 2017, this data. Okay, please make sure that whenever you are actually going to append rows, the column names need to be same and it need to be a specific order. Okay, row ID, order ID, row ID, order ID. This is order 2017. Okay, can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Okay, so all of them are same. I'm just going to say okay. So the data will get loaded. See here, the data got loaded. We have order here, and we also have something called order 2017. Do you agree with me, guys? Do you agree with me? I have just loaded the data. Okay, using Power Query here, new source. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add these two tables. What I'm going to do is here there is something called as append query. There is something called as append query. If I'm going to click on this, I have two options. If I'm going to click on append query, I have two options. Option number one is append query on the same table, append query in a different table. I will show you, which basically means if I'm going to use the first option, 2017 data will be appended with order data. So if I'm going to say a new table or a new query, so what will actually happen is there will be a new table that will be created. So first table is 2017 data. This is the parent data. And now here I'm going to use order data. That is going to be the second table. That is going to be the second table. What I'm going to do is order 2017 order data. I'm just going to say, okay. That's it. Now I have a new table. Now I have a new table called as append. Okay. So if you see, if I'm going to check this to entire data set, okay, if I'm just going to check this to entire data set, if I'm going to say view, okay, I will be able to say 9,994 plus 9,994. That is going to be 19,988. Agree with me? So you have appended the rows. You have merged these rows. So in your organization, you may also have the data like this: 2017 Excel data, 2018 Excel data, 2019 Excel data. Now you might be saying, Sangesh, I want to append all of them and put it into one. Yes, it is possible, sir. You can actually use these kind of options to append and update the data. Hope you are clear on this particular part, guys. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Clean and clear? Clean and clear? Any questions? Yes. Rathod is having another question. In choose column, how to choose by column index or column header text? That can be done only through code. Okay. So
ऐसा होता है क्या गर्म होने के बाद भी स्विच ऑफ हो जाता है, कभी पावर ऑफ हो जाता है, पावर ऑफ बहुत ज्यादा गर्म होने के बाद.
So Rajesh, yes Rajesh, what's the question? I'm not able to understand.
नहीं, इसकी नई बैटरी डाली आपने.
सॉरी बैटरी बड़ा ओल्ड हार्ड डिस्क है ना.
So Rajesh is, I think I assume that he's not attentive. That's absolutely fine. So that's absolutely fine. So what I was actually trying to say is our Rathod is having one question. That is, if I want to choose a column, okay, so it can be done. For example, if I want to choose, okay, if I want to choose some specific columns like this, okay, I'm saying choose columns. I'm saying choose columns. Okay, by these names. Can you see that? By these names. And so if you want to hard code it, if you want to see the hard code, okay, so here, see here you have row ID and order ID. Similarly, you can just put a comma. You can just put a comma here and start mentioning all the columns what you require. In advanced editor, you can actually do or hard code this specific thing. Okay. So here, okay, you have just selected these two columns. If you want to select this another column, you can just type another column and you can provide the column name. You will be able to work with that. Okay, hope you are clear on this particular part. Rathod.
Yes.
Yes. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I think I have another question. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So this is how we can actually prepare the data. And these are some of the very most frequently and robustly used techniques. Okay, adding to that, you also have something called as transform data. Okay, so you also have something called as split and group by. Split and group by. Here also you have group by, and here also you have split. So that's the reason I have left a couple of things here, and I'm just going to say transform, and I will try to explain those things which have been left out in the home tab. Okay. So here I want to start with something called as data types. So we have understood what is data type and what are the issues that are going to arise if we are going to have wrong data type. Like I have inserted something called as 7H, right? So due to that 7H, what are the problems we faced? We know. Okay, there was an error which was being created and all these things. So there is there is something called as data types. And when you speak about data types, there are various types of data types. One is called as decimal number. Which looks something like 1.2. That is going to be the standard. Okay. If you go to profit table, okay, profit table, this is with 1.2, which basically means this column contains decimal values. Columns contains decimal values. Okay. Now you might be saying, Sanmesh, I don't want decimal values. I want whole numbers. Can I change it? Yes, obviously you can just say whole number. Now all of the values will be changed to a whole number, something like that. And and unfortunately in Excel we have this decimal points range, right? So I want 2 decimal points, I want 4 decimal points and all. So those things cannot be done in Power Query, but it will be capable to be done on Power BI desktop. In desktop, you have an option where you can actually choose how many decimal place you want. You want 2 decimal place or you want 4 decimal place. All these functionalities are available in Power BI, not in Power Query. Okay. Hope you are clear on that particular part. So you can actually choose whole number. You can do a kind of rounding off or something like that. So adding to that, if it is a kind of percentage and all, you can actually find percentage and all. So you can do many things. I repeat again, you can do many things here. Okay. So if you have that this column is actually a fixed decimal, like currency and all, you can actually say, okay, this is a currency, something like that. Okay. So now it will be changed to currency. Now this will be also shown as a currency in Power BI desktop as well. I repeat again, Power BI desktop is completely different, and Power BI Power Query is also completely different. Even though it is a part of Power BI, but it is a sub part. It is not completely same as Power BI desktop. Okay, please make sure this. Okay, so here we can actually change the data types. Now it is a currency. Okay. Similarly, you have whole number, you have decimals, you have text data. You also have something called as date format. Can you see that? Date format. Okay, something like this. And interestingly, there are various types of date formats. Like we Indians use a British date format, and US citizens try to use a different date format. Okay, so if you see this in a very detailed aspect, so it is called as 08/11/2019. Okay, which is a date, month, and year format. Let's assume, I'm just giving you a small example. Let's assume we are planning to convert, I repeat again, we are planning to convert it into British format. Now it is a this thing, what I can say, American format. Now we are going to convert this. How we are going to convert this? So first, I'm just going to say split data. I will say split data using a delimiter. I'm just going to say split data using delimiter. Here, I'm just going to use that hyphen symbol as my delimiter, and I'm going to say okay. So now there are 3 columns which are being created. One is called as order date 1, order date 2, order date 3. So here this is my day, this is my month, okay, and this is my year. Agree with me? How I did? I just clicked on the column. I went for split columns. First, I have to click on the column. Then I have to go to split columns. In split columns, there is an option called as by delimiter. Okay. So I can just click on this delimiter. Okay. I can say okay. Okay. Now I have 3 columns. One is called a ship date. Okay. Date, and date, month, and year. I have this. I can just shuffle this. I can just shuffle this. See here. I can just shuffle this like this. See here. Be with me, guys. Be with me. I will give you time. Okay. I can just shuffle this like this. Now it is going to be 2, 1, 3. So first it was 1, 2, 3, right? Now it is 2, 1, 3. Similarly, I'm just going to say 2, 1, 3 as well. See here, 2, 1, 3 as well. Now I have split it. Now we have 3 different columns. Now you might be thinking, hey Sangmesh, how to join them all? Okay, is there any possibility? Obviously, sir, it is possible. You are just going to select these 3 columns, like this, and you are just going to right click it. You're just going to right click it. Then you have an option to merge columns, which basically means you're just going to merge column into one. You're just going to merge column into one. You're just going to say merge. Okay, so I will call this as date. Okay, and I want a separator. I want an hyphen as my separator. Okay, and I'm going to say okay. Be with me. I will give you time to prepare this as well. Okay, so see here. Now I have month. Then I have date. Then I have my year. Agree with me. So I have these 3 things. Done on my system. Here it is called as text. Now I can rename it as date. Okay. So it is showing an error because these are of different data types. Okay. I can say, okay. So I can put it as text itself. No worries. I can put it as text itself. I will say, okay, cancel date type. So I have this in text itself. I can say close and apply. Here. Okay, extremely sorry. Here in Power BI, we have an option. If I'm going to click on order date, here we have an option to change it to date type. Okay, see here. We can also change, if it is in text data, we can change it into this thing, and we also have various types of formats as well. Okay, we can also do that. Let me keep this in text data. It is not a big headache for us. Okay, so now what I want everyone is to reorder the table, any one of it, either it is order date, either it is ship date, I don't care. I want you to reorder one of it. So there are 2 steps. First step, we have to split the column. Second step, we have to join it. Okay, so I'm with you. Okay, so if someone want to share his screen and want to volunteer, I'm ready to provide the volunteer access as well.
I will share my screen.
Sure, sir. Beautiful.
Okay. So I just upload the data which data is in my Excel file.
Okay.
If you see, this one is the date and time format.
Yes.
Okay.
So do you think that time is also important? I'm just going to ask you.
Not required.
Not required, right? So can you click on that icon, calendar icon, date type format? Can you click on date? Not here, sir. Can you click a little bit at your right? So I'm just going to take a control of your system. There. You can say date. If it is not going to be required, if you see, replace current. Okay. So if you feel time is not important, then remove it. Okay. If you see time is important, then keep it. So now you have converted, okay, date time into date format. Now you want to split it. How do you split it? You have to click on it, and then you have an option called a split. Yes. At your no. At your right. हाँ थोड़ा right चाहिए बस थोड़ा सा right. वहाँ पे split column हाँ वहाँ पे जी. Okay, you have an option called as delimiter. Okay, you can say delimiter, click on it. Okay, so automatically it was able to identify the slash. See here, the
Yes.
delimiter is slash, custom delimiter is slash. Slash is something which has been used in that particular column. It was able to identify it. You just need to say okay. You just need to say okay. That's it. Beautiful. Now you have date 1, date 2, date 3. You just need to reorder it. You just need to reorder it. Yes, drag it. Bus, ho gaya.
First को ले लो
2, 1, 3. Agree with me.
3 2 1 कर दो
2, 1, 3. Now you have to select all these 3 columns. Now you have to select all these 3 columns. Select कीजिए. There is no hard and fast rule. Just select it. Shift. Click it. Yes, beautiful. Shift, click it. Yes, that's it. Then right click it. No. Then right click it. Right click it. You have an option called as merge columns. Can you see that? Merge columns. Can you click on merge column? Yahan pe there is something called as separator. Can you click on the separator? Okay. So there are various types of separator. What type of separator you want? You want tab separator, semicolon separator. What is it? You also have custom separator. So if you want slash, you can incorporate slash. Hyphen you want, you can incorporate hyphen. And it is also, wait. It is also asking column name as well. So now the column name is merged. So if you want to keep some another name, you can also keep that.
and say 1.
Okay. You can say okay.
Okay, just
Click on okay. Click on okay. Click on okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. You are done with that transformation. Similarly, there are also some instances. I repeat again, there are also some instances where you need duplicate. Okay, so I don't want to tamper the original data. I want to play with the duplicate. You can actually do the duplicate. Can you click on date up? You can click on that date. You can right click it. You can right click now. You have an option called as duplicate column. You can duplicate the column and do all the transformation there so that your original data is not affected.
Okay.
You also have these kind of options as well.
Okay, so
Okay.
whatever the changes I want to do, I can do in duplicate column.
Something like that. And after that, you can remove the original column and make your life a little bit easy. So it's only for validation or something like that. What we tend to do, we create duplicate column so that original column is not affected. Then we do all the transformation. Then we validate it. Then we transform it, something like that. So I'm just giving you a small idea here how we tend to do it. Okay, if the data is very confidential or something like that. Okay, so I'm just giving you a small idea here how things work. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So you're done with this. And if you, after this particular session, I also want you to try merge and append as well. Okay, that's really important for you. I think I don't have any questions. Okay, can I share my screen, Vijay?
Yes.
Beautiful. So now you are getting a gist of everything what you have to do. But I want to warn you, whenever you are playing around with data type, I want to warn you. The warning what I want to give you is there are certain data types where you can do data change, like you can change numerical data to text data or text data to numerical data. You can do that, but there are some data types, I repeat again, there are some data types which cannot be changed. If you are going to change, there will be lots of jeopardization which will actually happen. So what I will do is I will go here in Power BI. I will say Power Query, QUERY query. Okay. Data types issues. Okay, let me say data types itself. It will appear. This. So there is a very beautiful article which has been published by the power user. So this is a small blog. Okay. So here in this blog, they have given what I can say, some graphical representation. Here they have given some graphical representation which are the data types can be changed, which are the data types if you are going to change, you have to keep few things in your mind. Like there are some exclamatory mark, there might be some truncation, or there might be some original value can be having some problem. There are also some possibilities which is not possible, like duration. Okay, if you want to change this duration new duration to date and time, it cannot be possible. Okay, like if you have only time information, let's assume if you have only time information, you cannot incorporate this until and unless you have date information, then you can actually play around with this, something like that. So there are exclamatory marks. Time information, see here, there are some of the information like time information cannot be converted into decimal points or decimal values. Okay, time information cannot be converted into currency, whole number, and all these things. Hope you're able to understand it. So these types of help is provided by this particular article. I basically like everyone to just have an eye on this, because whenever you are doing Power Query transformation, you need to be aware of these types of data challenges which are actually available in Power Query. There are some data types which can be changed. There are some data types which are little bit hard to change. There are also some data types which are completely impossible, not possible. Okay, so even those are also available. So you just need to have that idea in your mind. Okay, clear and clear?
Yes.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for this specific thing. Now we have done various things. We have understood the first row as headers, data types. Okay, deleting detect data type, it is automatic. We also have understood how to rename column. Okay, like if you want to say append as master data, like if I want to change this data type to master data, I can actually rename it. So how do I rename it? I will say rename. Okay, I will say master data, MASTER data. So there are two possibilities. I can use this rename, or else I can use this rename as well. Anything is possible. Okay, along with that, I also have replace value. I can use replace from here as well, or else I can use replace from here as well. Both are same. You are going to eat like this, or else you are going to eat like this. Same, you are going to eat, that's it. Okay, and along with that there are also some fill up, fill down. Okay, basically the sorting aspects of this thing. And along with that, you also have pivoting stuff. Okay, if you want to pivot the data, so not like pivoting what you do in Excel. So that pivoting and this pivoting is completely different. I will show you one of the aspects. So for example, I have shipping data, okay, and which I want to pivot. Okay, see here, shipping data, okay, based on profit. Okay, something like this. Okay, so what will actually happen, that there will be a data preparation that will be happening. I will show you how this will actually work. It is also a bit time consuming process, being very frank with you. Okay, this pivoting will take a lot of time. That's the reason most of the organizations do not like to use pivoting and all these things. It is still working. I think I have another question. How to use transpose? Yes, I will help you with transpose as well, no worries. Transpose is all about turning your x-axis to y-axis and y-axis to x-axis. Okay, I think this has been a bit tedious data. Let me, okay, I think yes, we have done this. Okay, I think we have done this. Customer ID. Okay, wonderful. We have done this. Pivoting, what it has done is, so here we have one column called as second class, and you have information how many second class profit. See here, I have taken shipping mode and I have taken profit. I have taken two columns. One is called as shipping mode. Shipping mode are different shipping modes. We have something called as standard class, second class, standard class, first class, same day. So these are the four types of this thing, what I can say, levels. Agree with me? If you basically hover on it, okay, if you basically hover on it here, you will be able to see there are 4 different shipping data types. I mean, shipping types. Where is this shipping types? Shipping date here. Where is this shipping mode? So here segment. This is segment. Where is the shipping? Oh, we have done pivoting, right? Previously, I will show this one. Okay. So previously we had something called a shipping mode, which was in row. Can you see that? Second class, standard class, first class, and so on. Okay. So now what has actually happened is when you have done pivoting, so all these rows are being transformed into specific columns. There is one column called a second class, standard class, first class, and same day. And you have your values. What is this value? This is the profit variable. This is the amount of profit, okay, which is coming from second class. This is the profit which is coming from a standard class, okay, and this is coming from first class, and same day somewhere from here. Okay, so this is how the data is available. Hope you are clear on this particular part. This is completely different from pivoting, what we do in Excel. So I know Excel, we do pivoting. So that pivoting and this pivoting is completely different. Okay, please do not get confused. Okay, so that's, and even unpivoting will do the reverse of it. Okay, it is going to take a lot of time. So that's the reason I don't want to use that particular unpivoting stuff. Adding to that, you can move. Okay, like here I have showed you how to move from one column to another. Here you also have an option how to move from one column to another, how to reorder the columns and all these things is possible. And never and ever get frightened. Okay, if I'm going to change the order and if I'm going to refresh the data, is it going to have any problem? No, it is not going to have any problem. You can reorder data or reorder columns as per your requirement. So if you want to keep the first order into last column or last column into first column, you can do it. No worries, you can do it. Okay, so when you do it, the original data will never have any problem. And even if you are going to refresh the data, even though it is not going to have any problem. Hope you are clear on this particular part. And adding to that, there are also a couple of options like transpose data. I will just click on this people table. So people table is one of the most tiniest data sets. So that's the reason I want to play around with this. So let's assume you have some requirement wherein you want to convert the columns into rows and rows into columns, columns into rows and rows into columns. So if you want to do that, you can use this transpose data. Okay, wherein the columns will be transposed to rows and rows will be transposed to columns, something like this. Okay, and adding to that, if you want to put an column like this, count rows and all, okay, how many rows I have and all, you are going to have four rows in the data. You will get that specific information which is actually available. And similarly, there are also a couple of this thing, like if you want to convert it into a list or something like that, you can also do that. If you want to format it like uppercase, lowercase, if you want to add prefix and all, you can actually do that. And adding to that, there are some statistical functions like like count, average, sum, and all these things. You can actually play around with this. There are also some of the options which can be used for numerical calculations. Like these are normally used for creating columns. These are normally used for creating columns. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for this column. Okay, and let me think about one specific case. Okay, so here if you see, you have two columns like sales and quantity, sales and quantity. Now you want to multiply sales and quantity and want to create something called as amount. So in that case, what you can do is you can say, I want to create a custom column, something like this. Here what I can do is I can say I want sales column. I can click on this. I can say insert, and I want to multiply it with quantity. I'm just going to say click on this quantity and it's going to say insert. So I have sales, I have quantity, I have sales, I have quantity. I'm just going to use multiplication operator. So I can use something like this. I can say something like amount for this, AMOUNT. This is the column name that I'm going to specify. This is the column name that I'm going to specify. And I'm going to say, okay. As soon as I do that, repeat, see here, as soon as I do that, okay, I have amount and I have this column, okay, where I have multiplied sales and quantity. So can everyone try to perform this specific task, like, calculating, adding, multiplying, dividing, anything, okay, 2 columns, okay, so that you are also comfortable with, Power Query. So who want to volunteer now? Who want to volunteer? Who want to volunteer now?
Okay, I will do.
Okay, you can share your screen.
Yes.
Who is sharing the screen?
Wait a minute. Rathod will share
Sure,
my this 1 minute.
sure, sure.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, yes, I can see the screen.
Okay.
Yes. So pick any 2 numerical columns, okay? Pick any 2 numerical columns. Okay. So what you will do first, you will go for add column. First, you will go for add column. Add column. No, 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 not here, sir. Not here, sir. Add custom column. Add custom column. Add column. Okay. Oh, not this add column, which is on the top, the top one. There. So you can say cancel here. Okay. So here there is something called as custom column from examples. Just beside that you have something called as custom column. Can you see that custom column? You can click on custom column. Okay. So here you can choose any 2 columns, like any column of your choice. You can explain. Okay, you can say, hey, I'm using so and so column and I want to do this specific operation, something like that. Here he's selecting sales. Okay, insert, click on insert. Beautiful, you have sales. Then what is the operation you want to do? You want to do multiplication, addition, subtraction, any mathematical operator. Multiplication, what you want to multiply? Quantity. Okay, quantity, insert, discount. Oh, you want to choose discount now. Okay, discount, sales multiplied by discount. Okay, if you want to use some complex, like like board mass rule, like bracket, big bracket, small bracket, something like that, you can also use that as well. Okay, I'm just giving you small ideas. So you can put it inside a bracket and divide it by something else or something like that. That can be possible as well. Or else you can say okay. Yes. Beautiful. So as discount is having 0, anything divided by 0 is 0, right? So that's the reason you have initial zeros. Then apart from that, everything is fine. Can you see that? Rathod. Clear and clear?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
I have one question.
Sure, sir.
If right now we have just provide the formula in this query, but already the file which I have uploaded, in that there is the already have the formula for like this, means there is quantity into rate like that.
जी, समझ में आ गया.
May I that all the formula will see here, or that will not in the query, right?
No, it won't be available.
Only quantity will means figure will be
Figure will be available. Figure will be available, but the calculation won't be viewable here.
Okay, so
maybe after something like 10 years, even Power BI can also provide that option as well. But right now, that is not available.
so we need to all the formula we need to do in a query.
Yes, sir. You have to do it in query itself here.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Alumnus, just one more question on that.
Sure, sir. I think there is another question.
Actually, yesterday what we have seen somewhere in Power BI Pro and the Premium, I think there we have seen some restriction on the refresh button, right?
Yes.
Putting the refreshes. So this refresh should also count in that refresh, or that is different? This is different.
One of the most beautiful and brilliant question. Okay. So there are two types of refresh when I speak about. One is called as manual refresh. One second is called as scheduled refresh. So when you say scheduled refresh requires something called as gateway, and that gateway is only available with Power BI Pro version and Power BI Premium version. Okay, so let's assume you have Excel files in your system. Let's assume you have Excel files in your system, and you want to refresh them on periodic basis, and you don't want any license. You don't want to shell $10. Okay, then what you can do is you can just append the data which is available in your Excel. Just you keep on adding, manipulating all that Excel sheet which is available, and you can just hit on refresh button which is available here. Okay, so just give me a minute. I'm going to request access for Rathod system. Rathod, I'm actually asking you request. Okay, thank you. Oh, you haven't provided me the control. Yes, thank you very much. So here in home, okay, if you click on home, you have something called as refresh option. This is a manual technique. And this only runs on a system. This will run only in your system. Okay, and when you say auto refresh, I repeat again, when you say auto refresh, gateway will come into the picture. And that will be automatic. There is no human interface. Okay, when you do manual refresh, you have to go here, you have to click on this manual refresh, but that will go on as it is. Okay, so these are some of the options which are actually available with the Power BI. Hope I have answered your question, isn't it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, got it. Wonderful, clean and clear. So can you stop sharing your screen, sir? I want to share my screen. Rathod, you have control. Beautiful, thank you very much. So here we have understood couple of things like adding, and you can also do couple of things like indexing column. You can actually invoke custom what I can say this thing functions as well. You can create conditional columns like if and else conditions. You can actually incorporate, like if it is going to be greater than so and so, call this as so and so. You can create some buckets as well. You can create index, you can create duplicate columns, you can format the columns, you can extract the columns and all these things. So there are two things which I'm going to skip in this session. That is going to be R script and Python script, because I have a dedicated session which is for R and Python visualization. Okay, so here I'm going to help you for everything. So how to get R and Python onto your system, and how to basically integrate R and Python into Power BI as well. So I will also teach that. So there is a dedicated session. So that is one reason I'm going to leave this particular part, that is R and Python script. Okay. And here, there is also something called as AI insights. Okay. Wherein you can actually incorporate analytics, text analytics or visual analytics or machine learning into Power BI if you have sufficient license. But right now I don't have the license. Okay. That's the reason I won't be able to show this particular part. But going ahead, we will be exploring this particular part as well. Okay. Yes, I have some question here. I assume so. Khiman Das, right?
Section frequently used shortcuts is visible.
Sorry, sir. I lost your first initial conversation.
Frequently used shortcut screen is visible to us.
Oh, is it so? I'm extremely sorry. I'm extremely sorry. Okay. So just give me a minute. I'm extremely sorry. So I'm extremely sorry. So the reason why what I was actually saying is, so we are going to skip these two parts, R and Python script, because we have a dedicated session for R and Python visualization. Okay. So we won't cover this particular part, but rest of it we are actually covering. Okay. Like, numerical, all these things. Okay. Rounding off you can actually do, but most of the rounding off we do it on Power BI desktop itself, and how we can actually add conditional columns and all these things. AI based visualization, I can actually show it, but right now I don't have the license, so that's the reason I don't want to show it. And to apply machine learning, you also need to know machine learning. Okay. Like, you need to understand what is text data, what is natural language processing, what are the different steps in natural language processing. Similarly, computer vision, what is computer vision, how we can actually detect a face and all these things. Okay. Like machine learning. So if you have some basic understanding, you can also use it. But I want to warn you again, these comes with terms and condition policy, which basically means that it will be available, but not full-fledged availability. So they are a little bit smart. Microsoft is a little bit smart in this case. You can use it. I will show you a couple of examples at the end of the session, not right now, at the end of the session. Okay, when we will be having licenses as well. Okay. So these are some of the options, okay, which are actually available. Now we are at the end of what I can say, Power Query. There is only one topic which is left, which is called as diagnosis. So diagnosis can be really helpful for optimization. What I am speaking, diagnosis is one such step. I repeat again, diagnosis is one such steps which can help you. I repeat again, diagnosis is one such step which can actually help you to understand which is the query which is fast, which is the query which is making the whole query slower. Okay. How, which specific table, what time or duration it is taking. I will give you one of the option. I will give you one of the example. I'm just going to say start diagnosis. I'm just going to say start diagnosis. Now the diagnosis is getting started. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to click on refresh preview. Okay. Now the refresh is getting happened. So now the refresh has been completed. So if I go here, tools, I can say stop diagnosis. Now what I'm doing is I am saying for query to run, how much time it requires, which is the fastest query, which is the slowest query. I want to do this data analysis. Tomorrow you are having, right now you are having only something like 3 tables. Tomorrow you may have something like 10-15 tables. Okay. So there you might be applying some easy transformations, some complex transformations. So if your manager is holding your collar and he's saying, hey, this query is slow, your dashboard is slow, then you need to be in such a situation that you need to say, hey sir, this is the transformation that has been applied by this thing, me, that's the reason this is slower, I'm going to change this. You need to be such a brilliant person to identify which is that query which is making it slow. Okay. So for that, this is something called as diagnosis report, which is getting generated. Okay. Which will be available in something called as diagnosis. which will be available in something called as diagnosis. So here you have something called as diagnosis counters. Okay. So here you have something called as diagnosis details. So it will provide you a detailed report. Here you have something called as diagnosis aggregated. Last but not the least, you have something called as diagnosis partition. So all of them will provide you different results. But one of the most important thing, what I want to share you is something called as aggregated. So here it is going to provide you, for example, here you are doing add a column here in order table, okay, here you are adding a column. Can you see that? So that information is also captured here. See here in order table, there is a step called as add column. So if you go little bit here, sir, if you go little bit here, it is going to provide you start time and the stop time, when you started the query and when it got stopped. Okay, so you started it at something like 5 o'clock 3 minutes, and it got ended in 17:06. I mean, it hardly took something like 6 milliseconds, sorry, extremely sorry, 6 milliseconds. And here use your options. Okay, how much, which specific time, which specific transformation took lot of time, which specific transformation took. Here you have your breakout. Can you see that? So here you also have your files as well. So which are the files that you are using to load? So here you are doing reading. So here, see here, evaluating, documentation, query evaluation, read file, preview evaluation. All these options are available. Any any data preparation, what you are doing, all this will be, all the operations will be documented well, and it will also provide you how much percentage of duration it is going to take to perform this activity. This can be really helpful to identify those kind of transformations which are going to take a lot of time. Okay, something like this you are able to see here. So it hardly took something like 1 second. It hardly took, these took some milliseconds. Can you see that? So here you are able to see what is the duration. Okay, right now this is a very small table, that's the reason it's very quick. But when you have larger table, when you have larger amount of data, okay, these are the topics which are going to be very handy. Okay, you won't remember it right now. Okay, I mean, you won't even say, okay, this is important and all. But when you have complex data, when you have complex dashboard, when you feel difficult, when you have larger amount of data, when you feel difficult to handle data in Power BI, in that case, these are some of the tips and tricks that you can actually use to understand it. Using this, what we do is we try to analyze which is that query which is faster. Like there are certain queries in Power BI which are quite slow. Okay, like when you say Power Pivot, it is slow. Second, there is also something called as group by function. Okay, it is also very slow. We never do group by in Power BI, Power Query. We never do. We use DAX instead of that. Okay, so for all these kind of things, I repeat again, for all these kind of things, you can identify those steps which are the bottleneck. You can say, okay, the query is absolutely fine, but the data which is coming from the SQL server is slow. You have to do SQL server optimization. I am completely innocent. You can prove your innocence using this. Okay, hope you are able to understand it. Hope you are able to understand it. Are you clean and clear? Are you clean and clear? Do you have any questions or concern? If you have some time, you can also generate a diagnostics report, and you can also identify it. All of them are completely different. Okay, like detailed diagnostics. Okay, it will provide you the detailed report. Okay, most of them are going to be the same. The duration will be provided here. Okay, it will also provide you the file source as well. And all of them clean and clear. Do you have any questions here?
No.
Okay, I want to wrap this up with only one small tip and tricks. Okay, so I know, for example, let's assume Vijay is building one dashboard and he is sharing that dashboard to Rathod. Okay, so what will actually happen here is, okay, Rathod, if he is going to just get the Power BI file, he won't be able to do anything. He need three things. Okay, number one is the PBIX file. What is meant by PBIX file? So if I'm going to say close and apply, if I'm going to say close and apply, and then if I'm going to save this dashboard, I'm just going to say save this dashboard. Right now it is called as untitled. These queries are, I'm just going to say save dashboard. Okay, so as soon as I save this dashboard, save as, okay, I'm just going to put one random name. I will say okay. I will say test. I've created something called as test. As soon as I'm going to save this, it will be called as PBIX. So this will be having the extension called as PBIX. For Excel file, you have XLSX, CSV. So those are the extensions. For here, you have this PBIX file. I'm just going to say save. Okay, and if I'm going to see here, I'll be having something called as test. See here, I have something called as test. See here, I have something called as test, which is in PBIX format. Can you see that? Along with that, there is also something called as PBIDS. There is also something called as PBIDS. PBIDS. What is this PBIDS? PBIDS means Power BI data source. Power BI data source. Okay, Sanmesh, this is very interesting. Okay, you told PBIX, then how to convert this PBIX into, what I can say, a PBIDS? Is there any possibility? No, there is no possibility. But if you want to generate Power BI data source file, there is an option in Power Query. So if you say Power Query, you have something called as data source settings. Do you agree with me? You have something called as data source settings. You can click on this data source settings, and here you have an option to say export to PBIDS. You have an option to export it to PBIDS. You can say PBIDS. Okay, and I'm just going to name this as I'm just going to name this as something called as sample. Something like the sample. Oh, sample test. We have this. I'm just going to say sample test, something like this. And I'm going to save this. So if I'm going to go here, sir, okay, if I'm going to go here, I have something called as sample_test. I can just double click this. Power BI will open, and Power BI will also show what are the files that are also required to load, something like this. These are some of the information which can be very, very handy. I repeat again, these are the functionalities which can be really handy for people who want to share credentials. Like if you are using SQL Server or something like that, if you want to share one credential with another credential and you don't know whether he will be able to load it correctly or not, then what you can do is you can just connect it, okay, export it to PBIDS and provide the PBIDS file to him. Okay, so see here, you have your data source settings and all these things. Okay, here you have all the transformations which are actually available. Here you can use these kind of options to basically share the credentials. Like even instead of providing password and what I can say, username and password, you can also share the data, something like this. Okay, as well. So this is one of the options which can be handy if you are using SQL credentials and all. And adding to that, if you are going to right click this, and say extremely sorry. If you are going to right click this, and if you are going to say open with a notepad, so here you are going to get the path, okay, from where the data is getting fetched and all these things. So if your developer is smart, he will be able to find this. Okay, what is it? It is a file format. Okay, this is a file and this is the path of the file. okay, that is good. And there is any authentication, though, no, there is no authentication. There is any query, no, there is no query. So all these things can be seen here. Okay, but the data transformations won't be shared here. Please, no, please keep this in your mind. Only the credentials will be shared. He will be able to connect to the data. He will be able to connect to the data. Let's assume I can see that some of you are using OneDrive or what I can say, SharePoint. Okay, so here you might be having a new Power BI developer. He might be saying, sir, I don't have any credentials. I have this, something like that. What you can do is you can share this PBIDs. Okay, he will open this, and as both of you are having the same shared drive, even he will be also able to access the shared drive. Even you will be also able to access the shared drive. Then as you are providing the PBDIs file, he will be directly able to connect to the file. Okay, something like that. You are not able to share the true file. Instead of that, you will be able to share something like a file which is something like 1 KB or something like that. So it will do that particular task. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Clean and clear? Okay, I think I have 2 questions. Okay, no, yes, that's fine. How about others, guys? How about others?
Yes, clear.
Clear. Okay, so I basically request, because you will be having this recording, so I basically request that you get this Power BI desktop, try to practice today's session. Okay, and along with that, we will be also providing you the assignment as well. Okay, it won't be a really tough assignment or something like that. It will cover everything what we have covered in this session as well. Okay, so you complete your assignment. It will be for your practice, and adding to that, if you have any questions or concern, we will address this in our next class. So if you are able to join 15 minutes early, I repeat again, if you are able to join 15 minutes early, we can discuss the bottlenecks what you have faced when you are solving the assignment, or if you have any questions or concern in Power BI, we will be able to address it. So I will be available exactly at 1:45 at the this Zoom room. Okay, and I will be waiting. If you have any questions or concern, you can join a little bit early and we can discuss the question and answer. There will be a short Q&A sessions which will be going on. Okay. Okay, that's wonderful, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So tomorrow, I mean, the next Thursday, we will be learning a couple of things. That will be something called as DAX. So people who know DAX in Excel, so this is very, very similar to that. Okay, yet I will give you a very deep understanding how to understand DAX and how to play around with DAX and how to write really good DAX. And I will also explain something called as DAX Studio, which is an external tool, how we can actually improve, how we can actually integrate it and do DAX optimization as well. I will also teach that particular thing in our next session. Okay. Okay, clear and clear, guys.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Okay, thank you.